This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel and happy Sunday to everyone tuning in. And in the news this afternoon, another bus crash in western Jamaica leaves one dead. A vehicular collision involving two buses in St. James on Sunday has left a woman dead and one of the drivers seriously injured. Reports reaching the news state that a Toyota coaster bus was traveling towards Montego Bay with one passenger aboard when the driver lost the control of the vehicle about 8 a.m. along the flanker main road. The bus careened across the median, hitting another coaster bus which was traveling in the opposite direction. The impact of the collision reportedly caused the death of a female passenger on the bus and the serious injury of the driver. The driver was the only person aboard the other bus. This is the second deadly bus crash in 2 days in western Jamaica. On Saturday, 2 people died in a crash in Trulani when a hotel staff bus ran into a parked truck. Police locked in legal battle to secure evidence in murder of 9-year-old Gabriel King. Detectives probing the murder of 9-year-old Gabriel King in a reported carjacking in St. James in January say they have been faced with numerous roadblocks in the investigation, including legal maneuverings and the lack of cooperation from persons close to the case. King, who was developmentally challenged, was abducted from his mother along the Tucker Main Road in St. James after assailants reportedly dragged her from her motorcar and took the vehicle with the child still in the back seat. In a video posted to its social media account Saturday night, the Jamaica Constabulary Force said it is now locked in a legal battle to get access to critical evidence from the cellular phone of the child's mother. They said the matter is to be heard in the St. James Parish Court on Monday. Commanding officer of the St. James Police Division, Senior Superintendent Vernon Ellis, said the police were granted a court order on September 6 for the mother to give access to the cellular phone, which police have in custody, and for communication cell site data to be handed over to the cops within 48 hours. Through her lawyers, she is now challenging the order made on September 6. This key aspect of the investigation is sub judice, and as such, I will refrain from discussing that aspect at this time, Ellis stated in the video, shot at the same location where the crime was committed. He continued, I would say that from the day of this murder, we have been faced with roadblocks, some non-cooperation and some legal fencing from persons that should be readily assisting with this investigation. The murder, which drew national outrage, occurred on January 13 about 9 a.m., police reports stated, when Gabriel and his mother Amoy Leon Issa were traveling in her Audi motor car along the Tucker Main Road towards downtown Montego Bay. It is further reported that she slowed to maneuver some potholes in the roadway when a man approached her vehicle, slapped her in the face, dragged her from her car, and drove off with her autistic child in the back seat. The police were alerted and the vehicle was later found abandoned off the Fairfield Main Road with the child's body lying on the back seat of the car, his throat slashed. Investigators have collected statements from his mother, the stepfather of the deceased child, Mike Issa, business associates of the couple, as well as the family driver, gardener, and housekeeper. Gabriel's biological father, who resides overseas, was also interviewed. JPS blackout caused by a major generating unit going offline. The Jamaica Public Service Company has apologized to customers who were affected by an unplanned outage early Sunday morning. A major generating unit went offline unexpectedly, resulting in automatic load shedding as the system responded to protect itself and limit the extent of the outage, Winsome Callum, the company's communications chief, told the news. The outage occurred about 1:45 a.m. and all customers were restored by 2:30 a.m., she said. The electricity distributor could not immediately state how many customers were affected. The JPS confirmed that service to sections of a number of communities in Kingston and St. Andrew, St. James and St. Catherine was disrupted. Man shot fatally in Homestead, St. Catherine. A man was fatally shot by gunmen at his home on Pittsburgh Avenue in Homestead, St. Catherine, shortly after 5 a.m. The man, identified as a 34-year-old Alonzo Bennett, otherwise called Booksy, was at home when gunmen forced their way into his house and shot him several times in his upper body. He was pronounced dead at hospital. This incident followed the killing of Damian Marlin at an illegal party in the community on Thursday night, a shooting the police said was gang-related. The motive for this morning's murder is still not clear, according to the police. Drug boss loses appeal to keep $500 million worth of assets. Jamaica's second highest court has turned away a last-gasp attempt by a convicted drug boss to hold on to his portfolio of assets worth over $500 million. The Court of Appeal on Friday refused an application by lawyers for Andrew Hamilton for leave to challenge a forfeiture order made by the Supreme Court on July 8 that handed possession of the assets to the government. An application for the forfeiture order to be placed on hold was also refused, according to the ruling by a panel of 3 judges. The order stripped Hamilton, his associates, and the members of his family, including his elderly mother, of 14 multi-million-dollar homes, 4 motor vehicles, 4 bulldozers, a fishing vessel purchased for $19 million, and a bank account containing $19 million. Some of the assets have already been transferred to the state. It is the largest forfeiture order obtained by the Financial Investigations Division, the agency that enforces Jamaica's Proceeds of Crime Act, the legislation crafted to deprive criminals of their ill-gotten gains. The homes include a penthouse suite and 2 apartments in the gated Norbrook Ritz complex, located in the upper-class neighborhood of Norbrook St. Andrew, 6 apartments in the gated Monte Carlo Isle complex, also in St. Andrew, and a mansion in Ironshore, St. James. A review of court records showed that 5 of the Monte Carlo Isle apartments and the lots for 2 of the Norbrook units were acquired over a 7-day period, ending on June 25, 2008, for a total of Jamaican $61 million and US $300,000. The others were acquired 2 days apart in March that year. Calls to Ian Wilkinson, the attorney who represented Hamilton, and some of his relatives went unanswered on Friday. But according to a court transcript of the appeal hearing, Wilkinson argued that the judge who granted the forfeiture order failed to properly consider the fact that some of the properties were not recoverable because they were acquired before May 30, 2007, and therefore would not be affected by the POCA. The POCA, which governs the forfeiture orders, took effect on May 30, 2007. The attorney submitted too that other persons who are not parties to the court action are affected but have not been given an opportunity to be heard. Both arguments were, however, dismissed by the panel of 3 appeal court judges who noted that no such party is before the court and invoked Section 55, subsection 3 of the POCA. For the purpose of deciding whether or not a property was recoverable at any time, including any time before the appointed day, it shall be deemed that this Part 4 dealing with the civil recovery of property was in force at that and any other relevant time, the subsection reads. None of the other proposed grounds of appeal raises any real prospect of success. Accordingly, the application for leave to appeal must be refused. Hamilton, a former Jamaican cop and a postal worker who is believed to have amassed a $1 billion asset portfolio comprising more than 24 luxury homes and cars, pleaded guilty in 2012 to money laundering and a conspiracy to deal in ganja in California in the United States. He was sentenced in February 2014 to 4 years in prison, records show. Following the conviction, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency requested that Jamaican authorities conduct a civil investigation into Hamilton's assets here, and that's when the FID discovered the drug dealer's staggering wealth. Hamilton and the members of his family were arrested by the Jamaican police in December 2016 on money laundering charges, along with attorney Don Satterthwaite, who is accused of fronting the real estate purchases. That case is ongoing. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.